Welcome back to Notoriously Morbid's Indie Autopsy. I'm Thomas, and today we're talking about why indie brands raise prices. One of the main reasons indie brands have risen prices in the past few years, of course, was inflation. When the pandemic hit, the government pumped a lot of money into the system, and when you have something valuable and you pump a lot more money into it, it actually makes it less valuable. So that made things go up exponentially and quickly. Also, shipping has increased, also, tariffs and labor costs have increased over the past few years. If you sell on Amazon or Etsy or other platforms, seller fees have increased, advertising costs have increased. Everything just kind of trickles down to the business owner, and then the business owner has to raise prices to keep profitable. So first with inflation. So in our own experience, our supplies have went up dramatically. Some even domestic suppliers have went up. Something that cost $16 for a 4-ounce bag has went up to $60 over the past 5 years. Now, not everything across the board has went up like that, but a lot of things have went up. And to try to be competitive, we've looked for other suppliers, other sources, different kind of materials, different kinds of packaging. And it's always a struggle to try to keep that price lower and not raise it for our customers. Here recently, of course, the tariff situation. It's 25%, I think, on everything. And then we ordered a lot from China, and that was at 57% for several months. I think recently it's went down 10% to 47%, but that's still $47 on top of a $100 order. Also, the de minimis rule had expired or had gotten rid of, and that meant that every package coming into the United States had to be checked, and so that caused delays. We recently had an order that sat in Hong Kong for 4 or 5 days before it cleared customs. So it creates a backlog on orders coming from China or from anywhere, really. A 10-day arrival time now is 20 or 30. So that's another issue on top of inflation. So since that's happened, since the tariffs have went up, we've really tried to source more from domestic suppliers. But unfortunately, some of those suppliers also ordered from China as well. We have several suppliers who have discontinued a lot of things, which makes it difficult. We have to look for other sources, other suppliers, to see if we can find the components that we need, the pigments, the jars, the tubes. And shipping has also increased in price over the past 5 years as well. It seems like every 6 months, USPS is increasing their prices. FedEx, UPS has increased their prices. Also, in today's economy, workers need more money these days, so you have to pay your employees more, which adds to the price of your product. Website prices have went up. If you sell on Amazon or Etsy, they keep squeezing more and more money out of business owners, indie brands, small businesses. Fees, stocking fees have went up. Advertising fees have went up on Amazon. Etsy has went up. Google, it's went up. And there's some practices that I think are unfavorable and probably shouldn't be happening on those platforms as well. For instance, Amazon has their own products, and when you type in a keyword to search for something, those products come up first. You're competing with Amazon, so you have to spend money to be seen on their platform. And of course, with social media, organic reach is usually about 5% of your audience. So you also have to spend money on advertising. And of course, advertising's got more expensive for the same reason. The employees at Google need more money because of inflation, and so it just trickles down in just every aspect. It costs more money for businesses to run, and so that affects us as well. So it just all trickles down from the top down to the bottom. And we try to do our best to keep from raising prices. We've done a yearly price increase for the past couple of years or so. That's probably something we need to take a look at this year about raising prices, but we hate to. Like I said, prices from China have went up 47%. Local have went up quite a bit as well. There's some product that we have that's doubled and tripled in price over the past few years. One of the main ingredients for our liquid lipstick has went up in price dramatically. I think it's doubled in price the past 5 years. There's some shifting pigments that we have. It's a series set that we use in a lot of our products, and it also has increased. And if you've noticed on our website, we have gotten rid of a lot of things, and a lot of that had to do with cost, because it costs so much more, and we couldn't sell a mini shadow for $2.99 any longer. So the things that included those type of ingredients had to be discontinued. So we've had to discontinue a lot of different items because the ingredients now are not equally priced. So some things went up while others stayed the same. So those products that had those ingredients that doubled and tripled in price, we had to get rid of. So some strategies that we have been using is cutting back on Chinese source products, creating our own palettes, looking more into domestic suppliers for pigments and components, so we don't raise prices, because it's very competitive right now. Fortunately, we're not on Amazon or Etsy, so we're not getting hit with those fees like other people are. The margins on Amazon are very thin, and so when you see an indie brand raise prices, it's most likely because of that, because they're getting nickeled and dime from platforms like Etsy, Amazon, Google, and also the expense of advertising, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. So indie brands and small businesses in general aren't raising prices because they're money hungry or greedy. They're doing it just to try to survive. So the margins are very thin. It takes a lot of money to run a business. A lot of money comes in, but a lot of money goes right back out. You have rent, payroll expenses, utilities, and so on. So that little bit of leftover is what you get at the end of the day. And then that can fluctuate depending on whether you're running ads, if a supplier decides to raise prices. So when you see small businesses raise prices, I know it's upsetting because money's tight these days. You have to make that dollar stretch further than you ever had before. But keep in mind that they're also trying to make their dollar stretch too. So if you like this video, subscribe and like. I try to do a video about once a week or once every other week about the behind the scenes of an indie cosmetics brand, some of the challenges we face. So I'll see you next time.